Tonight's headlines: Philippines should further reopen economy, says Palace. Senators urge LTO to defer child safety in vehicles law. Labor Department to review calls for wage subsidy. Coronavirus cases in the country at 528,853. Vaccination to start with health workers in referral hospitals. Northeast monsoon to bring rains over Visayas. Philippine Stock Exchange up anew. And peso extends winning streak. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, February 2, 2021. I am Elmer Navarro Manuel, and this is Tribune News on Q. Here are the stories for this evening. Malacanang on Tuesday said the Philippines should further reopen the economy after a survey found that the number of jobless Filipinos dropped in November last year. A survey conducted by the social weather stations found adult joblessness at 27.3%, or an estimated 12.7 million adults in November 2020, representing a 12-point drop from the 39.5% in September, or 23.7 million adults. Before the COVID-19 crisis, joblessness was at 17.5% in December 2019. SWS said adults who are jobless consist of those who voluntarily left their old jobs, are seeking jobs for the first time, or lost their jobs due to economic circumstances beyond their control. 6 senators on Tuesday urged the Land Transportation Office and Department of Transportation to defer the implementation of the Child Safety in Motor Vehicles Act unless or until necessary guidelines are put in place and agency mandates are fulfilled. In Senate Resolution number 633, Senators Grace Poe, Sonny Angara, Juan Miguel Zubiri, Joel Villanueva, Sherwin Gatchalian, and Nancy Binay said the announcement that the law would be implemented starting February 2 took many Filipinos by surprise. Republic Act 11229, signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte last year, mandates children 12 years and younger to be seated in a child restraint system and prohibits those shorter than 4'11" from taking the front seat in private vehicles. The senators noted that the law was met with concern and confusion from the public, who had several questions about car seats, including how these will be certified by LTO, which brands meet government standards, and where these will be fitted. They also pointed out that many Filipinos could not yet afford car seats that cost 3,000 to 60,000 pesos each due to financial constraints brought by the coronavirus pandemic. The Department of Labor and Employment said Tuesday it will review the proposal of various labor groups for the government to provide a wage subsidy in the private sector due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy. Labor Secretary Sylvester Bello III said the proposals of the labor groups for a wage subsidy are better rather than an increase in the salary of the workers, because some employers might have difficulty sustaining it and eventually will lead to closure. Last week, various labor groups such as the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines has called the attention of the government to provide workers with wage subsidies amid the economic decline of the country brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. The labor chief said he submitted a wage subsidy proposal to concerned agencies before, but it was declined. But Bello expressed optimism that the Philippine economy will soon regain its strength and the strong trade on businesses will be back to normal. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Sa self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
The Department of Health reported 1,583 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Tuesday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 528,853, even as 13 laboratories failed to submit data on time. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 487,611 after 39 patients recovered from the disease. The death toll is now at 10,874, with 67 fatalities recorded. There are also 30,368 active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine. Meanwhile, Vaccine SAR Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. said supply agreements for 5 COVID-19 vaccines will be completed by the end of the month, adding that local government units not prepared for mass inoculation will not receive a supply of vaccines. In other news, Vaccine SAR Carlito Galvez Jr. announced on Tuesday that healthcare workers in COVID-19 referral hospitals will be the first recipients of COVID-19 vaccines. Since the first batch of COVID-19 vaccines may come from Pfizer that requires an ultra-low temperature cold storage, Galvez noted that these will be initially distributed to areas in Metro Manila, Cebu, and Davao where such facilities are available. Galvez said he had a meeting with Health Undersecretary Mirna Kabutahe on Monday where a list of these hospitals were presented. He said the inoculation rollout against COVID-19 is expected to start by February. The Philippines will receive at least 5.6 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech and AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccines within the first quarter of 2021 under the COVAX facility, according to him. State Weather Bureau Pagasa on Tuesday said that cloudy skies with rains are expected to prevail over the Visayas and the Bicol region due to the northeast monsoon. In its 24-hour forecast, the weather agency warned affected residents of possible flash floods or landslides during moderate with at times heavy rains. The monsoon may also bring cloudy skies with light rains over the Cagayan Valley and the provinces of Apayao, Kalinga, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Aurora, and Quezon, but it has no significant impact on the affected areas. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated light rains due to the monsoon. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
Iba ng panahon, dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ano bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it to centers, pati sa mga parties may online pa at app. You can buy it with your
Bago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
In business, appetite in the local equities market remained high Tuesday, tracking its counterparts in the United States. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index inched up by 0.78% or 53.12 points to 6,867.88 at the closing bell. The broader all shares increased by 0.99% or 40.50 points to 4,144.17. Regina Capital Development Corporation Head of Sales Luis Limningan said the Philippine shares closed higher as Wall Street appeared to have shaken off concerns about a speculative retail trading mania that largely drove the market's worst weekly sell-off since October. Volume totaled 56.17 billion shares, amounting to 10.66 billion pesos. Gainers led losers at 157 to 68, while 43 shares were unchanged. And the Philippine peso continued to appreciate against the dollar on Tuesday as the market took into consideration developments on the planned fiscal stimulus in the United States. The local currency gained 1.2 centavos to close at 48.053 to a dollar versus Monday's finish of 48.065 to a dollar. A foreign exchange trader from a local bank said that the pair closed lower as the market watched deliberations on the stimulus bill, with the Republicans proposing a much lower counterplan. Republican lawmakers were reported to have unveiled their counter-proposal to U.S. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion fiscal stimulus, with less than a third of funding, prompting U.S. Treasury yields to fall down on expectations of less borrowing. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Star City emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store on Viber and search for Katribu.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original thriller, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win. Your first catch. Your first home. Your first big break. Your first date. And even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Pumunta sa bangko.
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.